What's up, Stampers? It's Amy, and I was not able to be live today. The day got a little bit crazy, but I did decide that I was going to record a video about sharing what I was going to make today. And what I love about scrapbooking, okay, is every time doesn't matter. Like, if it's not fall, you can still scrapbook fall pictures. In fact, you almost have to do it after fall's over, right? So I am bringing out Autumn to Remember, and I am going to make a little scrapbook page. And what kind of inspired me to do this today is that Saturday is National Scrapbooking Day, and so I'm preparing mentally for that. And also, last night when I was having my buy and try class, I had a bunch of you on here, and I asked you, what should I do, a scrapbook page or a card? Well, we couldn't decide. It was about half and half. So guess what? I'm going to do both. And I'm going to share with you an idea that we used to do years ago. And I love that it's kind of coming back full circle. But before we start the project, I want to talk about the last chance list. If you haven't been on there lately, you might be missing out on some really good deals. Or if you haven't looked at it at all, there are some great deals. This stamp set is half price. I think it's like, now I can't remember, $12.50, $12, something like that. So it's really fun to be able to go into that last chance area and get some really good deals. So I posted a picture of the stamp set earlier saying I was going to use it during What's Up Stampers, and then the day got weird. But here I am. I'm using it. The other thing I want to share with you is the amazing scrapbooking workshop kit. We're not going to use this actual kit today, but this is also in the last chance. And back in the fall, when we had our September to December scrapbooking brochure, we saw these products used together. So we're gonna talk about this being in the last chance. We're gonna talk about this being in the last chance. We are also going to talk about the Coordinating Designer Series paper being in the last chance, and I think that is also half price, $6.25 if I remember correctly. And then also there's a project kit, it's a kit with stickers and more Designer Series paper, and that is in the last chance too. So you have this opportunity to get all of this coordinating product. Let me pull this out. I haven't made this kit yet. But when I was taking a look at it today, I was like, what the heck? It is like really thin, almost like a balsam wood, but not, it's pieces that pop out that you can add to your project. Holy smokes. How fun. So I anticipate that when I do put this scrapbooking workshop kit together, that, I'm going to not actually be using all of those, so I will have them then to be able to make some cards with it too. Oh my gosh, I can't wait. So it's been a lot of fun to pull out fall stuff, and I knew that because we're talking scrapbooking a little bit today, scrapbooking has no season. You can do Christmas pages at any time of year, any season whatsoever, at any time of year, and it's great. So I wanted to use Autumn to Remember because I feel like the Bountiful Blessings has an opportunity to be on a card or a scrapbook page. And then Crisp Autumn Days I decided to use on my actual scrapbook page. And then I'm going to use some of the stamps as well. And what I love about the stamp set, and you can probably see the shading on those, they stamp up so pretty, and I'm going to show you in just a little bit how pretty those stamp. So I'm tickled pink to be going back to fall because I love fall. And then we've got our faux glass dots, which granted, they got a little messed up in the mail or in shipping, but I think this is a full pack. So over in my catalog kickoff group, it's going to be one of those giveaway items that we're going to do. If you're over in that group, you know what I mean. But it has all of these amazing colors. I was going to use some on my project today, but now I'm rethinking that. I think I have an open one somewhere. So, love those. And they're on the last chance and I think on sale as well. So, gosh, there's just a lot of fun over there in that last chance section, and you're going to want to look at it. The other thing we need to talk about, here are the pieces that I'm going to use today, but the other thing we need to talk about is the scrapbooking workshop kit togethers that I'm going to be having quarterly. So all you do is for this quarter, you purchase a scrapbooking workshop kit. It can be any. And you should do that by May 15th in my online store. So you'll go to bit.ly, so bit.ly/Amy Rich scrapbooking kit, I think. Oh shoot, I'm gonna have to put that in the comments because now I'm second guessing myself. But anyway, if you do that, you'll get invited to my kit, my scrapbooking workshop kit together, where I will walk you through your kit. I may not have your specific kit, but the general instructions for each kit are the same. So I will walk you through that. We'll kind of do it at the same time, regardless of which kit you have. So it'll be fun. And there will be an opportunity to buy some new scrapbooking workshop kits starting on Tuesday for the new catalog and online exclusives launch. So if you want to wait till then, that's fine. We aren't meeting until, I believe it's the Tuesday after Memorial Day. So it'll be good. All right, so here are my supplies. Back in the day, we used to carry 6x6 scrapbooks, and they were fun for me. I unearthed today oodles of pages that I've made. Some I've put photos on, and some are just sitting there waiting for me to do something with them. Oh, excuse me. It's been a long day. But they're super fun because they're small, typically like 1 or 2 photos, and that's about it. But you can see here that I have got some of the designer series paper, and actually I believe this little piece comes right from the DSP pack, and it is 2 inches by 6 inches. So I'm going to take my adhesive, and we're making our little 6x6 page here. Oh, never mind. Wait, what? No, not yet. Shoot. I want to do some stamping first. I want to stamp a row of trees. Oh, and I forgot to put my plastic back on. That's how I lost the stamp to begin with. I'm not protecting the stamps inside very well. Okay, so I'm going to grab the trees, and then I'm going to do some tone on tone. So just grabbing my Old Olive ink, and I just have a little piece of Old Olive. I know some of you are like, you're going to use that for scrap paper? Well, yeah, kind of. Sorry. But I'm laying this here to make sure I'm going to get my tree trunks out of sight. Okay. So once I put, what I mean by that is once I put this on there, the tree trunks are going to disappear. Okay. As intended, my friends, as intended. All right, let's flip to the other side. And look, I barely got any on there. I can use the back if I want. You're like, that's a big piece. I can just hear some of you. And And I know, but it's what happens when I'm not completely prepared with all of the things, like a piece of grid paper from underneath here. Okay, so it's okay if it smudges, smears, whatever, a little bit there, because we're going to cover that section anyway. All right, so then we're going to put our designer series paper, 6x2, remember, right down here. And then, oh, I love 6x6. We're going to talk about uses for 6x6, even without a 6x6 album. So stay tuned. I'm going to get there. Don't worry. And then we're going to add, I believe this is a 4x4 inch piece. And this would be to mat your photo. So your photo probably would want to be like 3 3/4 by 3 3/4, or, you know, a little bit smaller even. But there's my, or a little bit bigger, 3 7/8 by 3 7/8 perhaps, photo on here. So there's where my photo is gonna go. And then crisp autumn days. So here's what I did. I took the stamp set, Autumn to Remember, stamped crisp autumn days with early espresso ink on basic beige cardstock. And then I fussy cut around the letters. Don't look too closely. It's not super perfect, but I'm okay with that. And then what I'm going to do now, because I don't have my photo on yet, I want to be a little bit careful. So I'm only going to put dimensionals at the bottom. I will put them at the top, but I'm not going to peel the backing off. Does that make sense? Okay, so grabbing my dimensionals, I'll show you what I mean. I got to see where the bottom is. Okay, the bottom is the bottom. So I am very sorry I wasn't able to be there live today. The day, it was just out of hand. And gosh, you know, I can't wait to go on vacation on the incentive trip next week. But I also am like, oh my gosh, I have so much to do before then. So it's fine. It's great. I'm so happy. But see what I did here. So I left the dimensional backings on the top too, and did that so that I can still get my picture in there when I'm ready to do so. Okay, then we've got some leaves. Now I'm going to tell you how cool this is. Look, this stamp right here, look at how cool that is. Look at the beautiful veining of that leaf and the perfect shading around the, you know, around the whole thing. So pretty. And I'm gonna take liquid adhesive here, because I want to go just down the stem a little bit. Hopefully not too much. Okay. And then I tried to leave, get it? This area without glue, so that once again, we can just slip that photo under there. Boop. And then I took 2 of the oak leaves and did them in green. And those, old olive. Okay, old olive. I need to be precise about this. I'm going to just curl those ends up a little bit, you know, because it's me. And then your adhesive will go here. We're going to tuck there. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to tuck here. Okay, super cute, right? And all we need is a little photo. And I think maybe if I can find a little bit of linen thread. All of a sudden I went, you know, what that could use is maybe a teeny bit of linen thread. So we're going to do it. This is a brand new spool. That never happens. What? Okay. I'm in a much better mood than I was this afternoon too. So it's good to be here with you, even if it's not live. But I promise I will read your comments. It's just been interesting. Oh, life. You like to throw curveballs. And I'm going to do just a little, what I call paper pumpkin glue dots. You know, they're like not my fave, but they do the trick. And these are kind of big, so I want to make sure I kind of roll that up a little bit smaller. And then add my, yeah. I just needed a little something there. And I might even leave them that long, at least for now, so that I can put it the way I want it when it's time. So now wouldn't it be fun to add some of these? But since I'm going to use them for a giveaway, I don't want to use any from here. Before I post it, perhaps I will find my other pack that is partially used. What do you think about the trees on the sides? I think it adds a lot, actually. Even just the tone-on-tone look like that. Okay, so to those last night who voted for a card, guess what? Same supplies. I think I just yelled that. I'm really sorry. Same supplies. The only thing different is Bountiful Blessings. I thought on a card that would be better. Same supplies, 6x6 cardstock, scored in half. Ooh, we got a mini slimline card. I'm like, what were those called again? A mini slimline. So cute. Then we're going to add this time I'm not going to worry about the trees because there's not enough space for the trees. So I just want to show you here. We're using the same supplies to create a card instead of a page. The only thing different is that I'm not going to have this piece right here, the Cajun Craze. But I'm going to have the other pieces, just different words. Okay, so here we've got our Bountiful Blessings, but we still need to jazz up the old olive part of the card. So look at this. Ooh la la. I am loving that stamp. Problem here is that I need to clean stamps again and put them away because all my blocks are taken up. I know, it's terrible. Old olive, come to me. You are old, but amazing. So now look at this, check it. Sweet border here, which is fabulous. Just like that. And I'm going to do it on top and bottom. I mean, what the heck, right? The dogs are going crazy. Or one in particular. She got in big trouble today. She did. She was not a good girl. I won't tattle too much about what the deal was, but she was not good. All right, so there we've got, I love that stamp. It's so versatile. You can use it in lots of different ways. Here we just did a little border. Okay, Bountiful Blessings. I think I'm going to put like right down here-ish. I don't like everything so centered all the time. I mean, sometimes it's great, but in this case, I don't want to. So we're going to take our leaf, our crushed curry, by the way. This one is crushed curry. And I'm just going to make it awesome. So we'll put that there. Love it. Look at me curling up those edges of those leaves. Okay. Now we're gonna work on these leaves. Now these, because I'm kind of going way over to the right with the Bountiful Blessings, I am going to really get those tucked in. So it's okay. It's all fun. So isn't it cool? You do a 6x6, then you can make a fancy mini slimline card. And I've heard those are a thing. So who am I to buck the system? And then we're going to add dimensionals to the back. of this sentiment. So I did the same thing, early espresso ink on basic beige cardstock, and that got a little wild, but yeah, I'm gonna have to trim that off. But I didn't want stark white, you know? I didn't want super duper white. Once again, those faux glass, whatever they are, faux glass dots will look really nice on here when I find my other package. But okay, so we don't want the G to go off the edge, but we do want to go nice and low with that. And shift. Amazing. All right, what do you think? We could still do some linen thread if you want. Okay, linen thread. Yes, please. There was a time in my life, and maybe it's mostly in the fall, now that I think about it, that I would buy a spool of linen thread with almost every order because I was going through it so fast. And maybe it was in the fall because, you know, it seems like maybe it's kind of a fall embellishment, although, you know, I love it for everything. And guy stuff, very, very cool on guy stuff. And you know what else I love about it? There's a lot on the spool, so it goes a long way. The baker's twine that we have in the essentials pack, there's just not enough on there. Like, I'd say triple that, triple what's in there, because I love using lots. In fact, a lot of times I love using, you know, wrapping it around several times. That's kind of a cool way to use it too. So let me just pull these. Now my bow looks a little, oh there, that's better. I was gonna say my bow looks a little backwards. I'm not sure how I feel about that. All right, so here we go, my friends. Did you doubt me? I used the same supplies for both of these projects. Now, I said we were going to talk about how to use 6x6 on your scrapbooks. All right. So you don't necessarily have to make a 6x6 page for a 6x6 album. And I'm going to do something here that I don't know that I'm necessarily going to like, but it's here and handy. So I've got a piece of two-tone crushed curry cardstock from the Scrapbooking Workshop Kit. And I'm just going to use it to show some ideas. So a lot of times, if you're looking in fancy magazines and online, there's a lot of open space. I think this would make a really fun scrapbook page. I know it looks kind of like there's a lot of space, but that's how a lot of stuff is designed. I mean, I feel like there's a lot of that where there's a lot of open white space, clean, you know, simple. But you could also take that stamp that we used on the card and make a border around here. You know, there are things that you can do to fill space. So that is one idea. Now, another idea is to put a couple of them on a page. So if you put one up here in the upper left corner, and I'm going to bring in an oldie. Look at this oldie. You could put that down here in the bottom right. So, I mean, I wouldn't want that one. I would make another one with these supplies, a different layout. But you know, you could do two corners. You could do more photos. You could do some journaling. You know, so that would be another way that you can use a 6x6 page. If we go back here to this layout, there are spots here. You could do pictures all the way around if you wanted. So, you know, I mean, get those creative brains flowing as you're thinking about all the different options for your scrapbooks and your card making. It's so fun. So thank you for joining me for a weird What's Up Stampers today. And don't forget the 2 times bonus points that Stampin' Up! Is giving Friday and Saturday for all orders $20 and more. And I would love for you to shop Scrapbooking Workshop kits with me so that we can Scrapbooking Workshop kit together. All right, take care, and I will see you Saturday.